can you hear me? I don't know. Can you hear me? I don't know if you can. Maybe, yeah, I think you can. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, I am in a slightly different area today. I am in slightly different surroundings today, but my life has been a little crazy recently. I will not go into details what happened recently, but I had to come to Poland, and I am in Poland this time, and I am at my family home. I don't really have equipment, and I don't have the right camera, and I don't have the right microphone, and I only have my laptop here, so I hope you can hear what I'm saying to so let me know in the comments if you can hear me. Justina says yes, so I am very glad that you can, because as I said, as you can see, the picture here is not very clear, and yeah, the background is not the most attractive, but whatever. How is the winter where you are? Do you have winter where you are? Do you have snow? Because I am in Weba, and it is crazy. I came here last week. It started snowing. Was it on Sunday? I think it was just crazy white. Everything was covered in snow. We could not drive. We could not, move from the house, but we went out actually. My sister and I and my husband, we went out to the city in the snow. It was very beautiful, very nice. We loved it. And we went for some hot wine. It was absolutely amazing. But it was very difficult to drive. Of course. Hi, Agnieszka. Oh my goodness. I haven't seen you for a long time. Welcome. We tried to drive the next day on Monday, and the city, of course, didn't clear the snow, so it was very slippery, but also very beautiful. Hello, Mariusz. Hi, good to see you here. Good to have you here. So we were stuck at home for a bit. It was super cold. Today was very nice. The sun came out in the afternoon, and very lovely. But I think you saw on the news, or you heard on the news, that my area here was just covered in snow, and we could not go anywhere. At night, people tried to, they were coming back from the weekends, or they were coming back from somewhere, and they just could not get home because it was so much snow. But I love it. It's so nice. We threw snowballs at each other, and we didn't build a snowman. We didn't have time for that. But I remember my childhood when we had so much snow then, and it's so nice. So I hope that you had some fun in the snow too. Let me know in the comments if you had some fun in the snow, and maybe you built some snowmen or something. Moi drodzy, witam Was bardzo serdecznie dzisiaj i na dzisiejszej lekcji. Dzisiejsza lekcja będzie poświęcona biznesowemu angielskiemu, biznesowym wyrażeniom. Zaraz o tym troszeczkę więcej powiem, bo mam dla Was karty pracy w ogóle. Na dzisiejszej lekcji tylko Wam powiem o 5 wyrażeniach, czyli w zasadzie liźniemy tylko tego tematu, ale oczywiście więcej tych wyrażeń, dużo więcej macie w kartach pracy, więc zaraz Wam podeślę link do kart pracy. Myślę, że być może z tego skorzystacie i będzie to dla Was przydatne. Ja, jak widzicie, jestem troszeczkę w innym otoczeniu dzisiaj. Niestety mam taką sytuację, że musiałam przyjechać do Polski i nie jest to przyjemna sytuacja, no ale niestety tak bywa w życiu i zostanę tutaj pewnie na jakiś czas. Dlatego widzicie, nie mam ani kamery dzisiaj, ani mojego mikrofonu i troszeczkę tak jestem zamazana i ten background troszeczkę jest taki bałaganiarski, no ale niestety znowu tak, nie chciałam odwoływać przygotować naszego spotkania, mówię, zrobię. Jakoś sobie poradzę. No i myślę, że jest okej, że się nie obrazicie, że gdzieś tam z tyłu jest jakiś bałagan albo coś tam i mnie dobrze nie widać. Najważniejsze, że się widzimy, nie? Agnieszka says, this winter is not the end of the world, I suppose. Yeah, of course it's not the end of the world, and I think it's beautiful. And hopefully, it will not... the snow is melting at the moment. I don't know if you have also the same situation, but I went today out to the town and it is melting and it's not nice on the street. It's not cleared. The roads are very slippery. It's very dangerous to walk around, especially if you're a bit older or you have kids or something. So it's not great. Chciałam Wam podesłać ten nasz co ja chciałam Wam podesłać? Chciałam Wam podesłać, tak się zawiesiłam troszeczkę, bo mi tam słyszę, coś się w domu dzieje i troszeczkę mnie to rozprasza, ale już Wam podsyłam karty pracy. Oczywiście sobie nie przygotowałam tego linku, ale już Wam daję i to są karty pracy od The Sunset Session, oczywiście, ale i one będą nieaktywne po jakimś czasie, więc jeżeli sobie jeszcze ich nie ściągnęliście, to polecam sobie ściągnąć, bo później one znikają, moi drodzy, więc ja sobie tutaj, to jest to, Sunset Session, więc jak już wam podaję, słuchajcie, to i się dzielę z Wami tym linkiem. Dobrze, mam ten link w końcu, Boże Święty, no po prostu zakręcona. Agnieszka says, it's amazing outside, absolutely. I am now in Roztocze area. Here is a lot of snow that I remember from my childhood. Exactly. I also remember this from my childhood. And we haven't had a winter like this for a long time. And, when I was younger, even in Weba we don't really get a lot of snow. And if we do, then it's the climate here is a bit different. So when we do, it melts quite quickly. But sometimes when I was younger, we had a lot of snow and it was beautiful and amazing. And as a child, I loved it. We used to go to the forest on a sleigh, and we used to do kulik. Remember kulik? I think kulik now is illegal, so you cannot do it. But we did that when I was younger. My father's friend had a tractor and we were lots of kids. It was very nice. Okay, guys, so let's start from learning some vocabulary today. Mam dla Was dzisiaj 5 wyrażeń, 5 wyrażeń związanych z rozmowami w pracy. I wybrałam ten temat, dlatego że naprawdę bardzo z wielu z Was ma problemy z takim bardziej profesjonalnym angielskim i wiem, że często na przykład jest tak, że to nawet nie chodzi o to, że wasz angielski jest na jakimś słabszym poziomie, ale czujecie, że nie macie pewności siebie i też czujecie, że brakuje Wam słownictwa i takiego dosyć zaawansowanego słownictwa. I to się pojawia bardzo często wtedy, kiedy też się wstydzicie mówić, bo to się wszystko razem wiąże, bo wasz angielski stanie w miejscu, jeżeli nie będziecie mówić, a nie mówicie, bo czujecie, że stoicie w miejscu i się nie uczycie. Więc dzisiaj Wam podam trochę tych, oczywiście będę tłumaczyć też dużo po angielsku, wydaje mi się, że większość, bo to już jest taki poziom troszeczkę, że tego angielskiego będziemy się troszeczkę więcej, dzisiaj będziemy się nim więcej posługiwać. I to są tylko frazy, słuchajcie. To nie jest, ja Wam nie, tutaj na tych naszych lekcjach na żywo oczywiście nie mogę Wam podać jakiegoś sekretnego przepisu na to, żeby się ich nauczyć i ich używać. Tylko jeżeli będziecie mówić, to będziecie mogli ich używać, więc o tym warto pamiętać, ale nawet jak już je słyszeliście, te wyrażenia, na przykład będziecie mieli wrażenie takie, już to gdzieś słyszałem, no bo to wiecie, no jakby Ameryki nie odkryjemy. To są, dużo rzeczy się powtarza, ale warto sobie powtarzać, utrwalać i następnym razem, jak będziecie mieli sytuację, gdzie można by użyć takich rzeczy, to warto się nad tym skupić, żeby użyć chociaż jednego wyrażenia z dzisiaj. To jest naprawdę bardzo ważne. Dobrze, słuchajcie, zaczynamy. So, I have a couple of things for you. So I have 5 phrases, and we will start from the phrase. Let me talk you through the main points. So this in Polish means pozwólcie, że przedstawię Wam najważniejsze punkty. Remember that let me do something. Okay? It's a very universal phrase. So let me do something. It means pozwól mi coś zrobić. Okay? And it can be a very polite phrase to use in meetings. Okay? So here we have let's say we have a presentation. So I am doing a presentation for you today, right? So I'm saying, let me tell you this. Let me explain English. Let me speak to you very slowly. For example, it's a very polite. In the meetings, when you are in the meetings, even if you disagree with someone, so you have some negotiations maybe or some meetings, and you want to say, well, I don't agree with this. I want to tell you my way, my point. Okay, so you can say, well, I'm sorry, I don't agree. Let me explain this one more time. It makes your conversation much more polite. So let me walk you through this. How we can use this phrase. So let me walk you through the main points. Pozwólcie, że przedstawię Wam najważniejsze punkty. So we have a business example. Let me walk you through the main points of our Q4 strategy. First, we'll look at our product expansions, and then we'll talk about our marketing strategy. This might sound to you that is quite complicated, right? You see, it might be a bit difficult, okay? So this one is only an example. We can change it to something else. We can say, let me walk you through the main points of our strategy this month. Or if you have a meeting with a client, you can say, let me walk you through our offer, right? So you have an offer for a client, for a customer, and you want to show them this. So you can say, let me walk you through our offer. Let me walk you through the report. Okay, so this can be a very nice start, and this can be a very nice beginning of a meeting, of negotiations, or of a presentation. So let me walk you through. I know that also through is a very difficult word for Polish people. I know this, but it's just a matter of practicing, of course. So you have to repeat. So you have th, and then you have ru. Through. Okay? So there was one ad once on Polish TV, and it was an advert of, I think, a language school or something. And I think it was Rosetta Stone. I think they advertised, and it was also through. And some Polish person tried to pronounce through, and they said through at the end because for us it's very difficult to pronounce th, right? The, through, and all that. But please practice this. It's a very good word to know because it comes up once in a while. Let me walk you through the main points. So that's the first one. The second one is the key takeaway here is. The key takeaway here is. Now, again, we can use this during negotiations, during your meetings, during a presentation, For a presentation, this is a very important phrase. You can finish. So first, let me walk you through. It can be the start of your presentation or your offer or your meeting with a client. And the key takeaway here can be the end of your presentation, of your meeting, of your offer to the client. Okay? So the key takeaway here is means kluczowy wniosek to. Okay? Kluczowy wniosek to. So the key takeaway for you today is that you must speak to be more confident. Okay, to be able to be more confident in English at work, you must speak. You can start from talking to yourself, you can start from lessons, you can start from exercises, but the time will come for you. Oh yeah, the time will come when you will have to speak. And the key takeaway here is there's no speaking without speaking. Letas, I guess, says, oh yeah, ha ha ha, I actually remember my coworkers having a blunder with pronouncing the word counter. Counter, okay. I didn't know that it was a problematic word, but maybe, yes. Okay, kluczowy wniosek to. We tested 3 different channels, and the key takeaway is that LinkedIn is the best marketing tool at the moment. So this is a business example, okay? So we tested 3 different channels. We tested 3 different ways, maybe Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And the key takeaway here is that LinkedIn is the best marketing tool at the moment. So we came to this conclusion that LinkedIn is the best marketing platform for us. Okay, kluczowy wniosek to. The key takeaway here is number 2. Number 3, to put this into perspective. To put this into perspective. To put this into perspective means aby to zobrazować. Aby to zobrazować. Okay, so to put this into perspective, to put our learning in, English into perspective, or to put your problems into perspective, I would recommend to speak more, to not be afraid, to be a little bit more confident, to stop criticizing yourself about your English. Because a lot of you that came today, there are how many? 22 people today, and I am sure that actually you know more than you think, because you are listening to me right now, and I'm sure that you understand. I'm sure that you understand me, and I'm sure that you can speak. So to put this into perspective, you know more than you think. So please speak more and be more confident in English. So your example for today, you are asking for 20% discount. To put it into perspective, our standard margin is 15%. So we lose money on this deal. Okay, so here we have margin. Margin, I don't know if you know. Who knows what margin is in business? Can you tell me in the comments, what is margin? Okay, we'll come back to this word. And I think I will explain it to you in English. Maybe you will know. If not, you can always check on Google Translate. I will not tell you. So let me know what margin is. If you know what margin is, and maybe you can come up with something from the context. So you're asking for 20% discount. To put it into perspective, our standard margin is 15%, so we'll lose money on this deal. So actually, margin means after all the costs, so you produce, let's say, I don't know, a pizza, and you buy dough, you buy ingredients, you buy mushrooms, cheese, whatever, tomatoes, and so on. And after all the costs that you put, what is left is your margin. Agnieszka says marża Exactly. A threshold of some kind, maybe. Yeah, a threshold of some kind, I would say. Marża in Polish, right? So something, the money that is left for you after all the costs, everything you pay. You also have staff and all that. Im wyższa, tym lepsza. Mariusz is a businessman, for sure. Always Mariusz. The higher, the better. Yeah. Yeah, Mariusz has his own business and he knows how it works. So in this case, of course, if someone asks for 20% discount and our margin is 15%, then we are not going to earn anything and then we are going to lose money. Yeah. Put it in it's simply. Number four is, I see your point. However, we also need to consider. I see your point. However, we also need to consider. Rozumiem twój punkt widzenia, rozumiem twój argument. Okay, I see your point. Very universal again. Aczkolwiek, however is a very, very useful word, guys. Things like however, despite, what else? Regardless, things like that. Very important words, very useful, good to learn them. So, however, aczkolwiek, we also need to consider, musimy także wziąć pod uwagę. Consider to jest wziąć pod uwagę. Or another very useful word. So altogether, I see your point. However, we also need to consider. So again, negotiations, meeting, some kind of an argument or some kind of meeting where you have to come to a conclusion, where you think that you have to agree with someone or come to some kind of agreement. Very useful. And again, it's polite, right? You don't say, oh, you stupid or you this and that. You actually say, I'm sorry, I see your point. So again, it's very polite because I see your point means I see you. I can understand what you're saying. However, I think there are more things that we need to think about. So I see your point. I can say to my student, for example, when they say, oh, I'm learning so much and I don't really speak. I am too shy. I am afraid. I don't speak English very, very well and I'm useless. Or, students sometimes say really bad things about themselves, which of course, it breaks my heart a lot of times because I see you guys. I see you that you can do more than you think. But sometimes you are very stubborn and sometimes you think, oh, I didn't learn this or why I don't remember this and all that. I see your point. Because I know, because I am learning also another language and I see your point. I know how it is to learn, and then the conversation comes and you confuse words and you cannot say something. However, we also need to consider the fact that a year ago, you could not say a word. 2 years ago, you didn't know how to speak English. And now you are speaking much better. You are on B1 level or you are on A2 level. So, we need to consider that. Business example. I see your point about the deadline being tight. However, we also need to consider the quality standards we promised our client. Okay, so I see your point about the deadline being tight. So here we have deadline being tight. What does that mean? Who will tell me? Let me know in the comments again. However, again, we have this very important word, aczkolwiek. We also need to consider the quality standards we promised our clients. Okay, so yes, we have very tight deadline. Let me know in the comments what deadline is tight, let's say. What does it mean? So the deadline is tight, so we are in a rush. But we need to consider the fact that we promised the client to give them something very nice, something very good. Okay, so let me know if you know what a deadline is tight. Means it's if you are in business, if you are learning business English, this is very important. Okay, this is really, really important. So I hope that I think at the moment we also in a lot of younger generations, not like me, an older lady, but in the younger generations who work in corporations, deadline is already almost a Polish word nowadays. Okay, but maybe for us older ladies and older gentlemen, maybe it's not that obvious. But if you know, let me know, and I will. So deadline is when, for example, you have something to do, and your boss tells you, okay, Agnieszka or Mariusz, you need to complete this until Monday. So Monday is your deadline. Okay, so Monday is the day when you have to deliver your project. So that's the deadline. Monday is your deadline. So it is the date when you have to bring your project. You need to finish your project. You need to finish your job. All right, next one is number 5. I need to bring this to your attention. Agnieszka, ciasne, krótkie terminy. Exactly, yeah? Ciasne, krótkie terminy. Mamy oczywiście to tight deadline. Okay, so I need to bring this to your attention. I need to bring this to your attention. I need to bring this to your attention. Muszę zwrócić Ci na to uwagę. So I need to bring this to your attention. I need to bring this, I need to bring something to your attention. And I would like to tell you that if you work in business, if you work in corporations, and if you want to get a better job or you want to get a promotion, you need to start speaking English. And you need to really break your barrier, guys. You really need to start thinking about it. I know it's hard for some of you, and I know that some of you come to me with A2 level and you need to get to B2 to get, a promotion or something. It is doable. It will not go very fast and it will take time, but you can do it. But, today, if you want to do better, you need to start speaking English. I need to bring something to your attention. You have been consistently late for the meeting. You have been consistently late for the meeting. We have, what tense do we have here? Present perfect. Exactly. Very good, group. You have been consistently late for the meeting. This means that you started being late in the past and you are still late until now. Okay? So not in the past completely and this is over, but you are still doing it now. So all the time you are late. I need to bring something to your attention. You can start this. You want to tell someone something. Not only bad things, it can be also good. But you want to talk to someone about something that's important. So I need to bring something to your attention. You have been consistently late for the meeting. So sorry. Be good, be better, try better. Okay? So, my dear all, remember about our worksheets. So this is only just a snippet. Tak, to jest tylko fragment tego, co znajdziecie w kartach pracy, więc karty pracy jeszcze raz polecam, bo tam jest tego naprawdę sporo. I macie w kartach pracy podzielone na takie, gdzie są prezentacje, chyba tam są jeszcze zgadzanie, coś tam jeszcze. Także chyba 3 czy 4 są takie sekcje i tego jest naprawdę sporo. Jeżeli chcecie sobie zajrzeć, sprawdzić, czy potraficie, umiecie to, czy jeszcze coś Wam przyjdzie do głowy, to możecie zajrzeć. I do tego jest też praca domowa. I praca domowa polega na tym, żeby w naszej grupie Angielska Konwersacja na Facebooku wstawić odpowiedź, która będzie związana z tymi naszymi dzisiejszymi wyrażeniami, które będą miały wyrażenia. The best thing is when the rules mutate into instinct and fast speech becomes less of a problem. Yes, this is the magic moment. This is the magic moment when we are finally feeling really good about our English, and we start thinking in that language, and this is something that we all want to achieve one day. But practice. You need to really listen to English. You need to read in English. You need to use English every day. It is not. It's not. I think it should be a pleasure. I think it should be nice, and not. It shouldn't be work. So I hope that you will enjoy the process. I hope that you are enjoying the process, and don't overthink. Oh, when am I going to achieve this beautiful, magical place where I don't have to think? It will come. It will come with time. Dobrze, moi drodzy, to polecam jeszcze raz karty pracy. Tak jak mówiłam, możecie sobie ściągnąć w tych linkach, które tutaj podaję w komentarzu. I tam, jak mówię, jest to bardzo rozbudowane, macie tam bardzo dużo przykładów, macie tam bardzo dużo rzeczy, które możecie sobie ściągnąć, możecie sobie wydrukować te karty pracy, możecie sobie pouczyć, powtórzyć, no i zrobić też pracę domową, polecam, chociaż ona jest nie z mówienia, tylko z pisania, ale zawsze to co jakaś praktyka. Dodatkowo oczywiście na sam koniec chciałam przypomnieć o treningach angielskiej konwersacji 1 na 1. Jeżeli ktoś by chciał, to ja też jeszcze mam miejsca na wieczory. Natomiast jeżeli Wam wieczory nie pasują, to mamy innych nauczycieli, mamy nauczycieli z Polski, mamy native speakerów z Południowej Afryki i ze Stanów Zjednoczonych, więc jeżeli nie ja, to ktoś na pewno inny. Na naszej stronie okenglish.eu można sobie zobaczyć naszą ofertę. My uczymy tylko przede wszystkim konwersacji, więc skupiamy się na tym, żeby Was nauczyć mówić, żeby Was nauczyć, żeby przełamać Waszą barierę, żebyście poczuli się wygodniej i pewniej w języku angielskim. I na stronie naszej okenglish.eu możecie umówić się ze mną na... A tak, przepraszam, tak dałam, dobrze, przepraszam, dałam Wam zły link, oczywiście. Sorki, już wysyłam nowy. Tak, przepraszam. Faktycznie dałam Wam link do strony zupełnie innej niż ten. W każdym razie można się umówić ze mną na darmową konsultację i w czasie tej konsultacji zbadamy Wasz poziom i dobiorę Wam nauczyciela i Wam powiem, czy mogę Was uczyć, czy jeżeli będziecie chcieli skorzystać z innego nauczyciela, na przykład z native speakera, bo się już czujecie w miarę ok, to można też zrobić w ten sposób, że po prostu zamiast do mnie umówić się z kimś innym i też będzie dobrze. Ale pościel mi widać z tyłu, sorry, ale mam takie warunki akurat, że no niestety. Następnym razem postaram się to jakoś uprzątnąć z tyłu. Także Was bardzo przepraszam za to, może o tak sobie włączę, tego nie widać. No dobrze, no życie, moi drodzy, nie? Dobra, słuchajcie, ja będę kończyć powoli. Strasznie zmarzłam, miałam 3 godziny dzisiaj w ogóle lekcji przed Wami i jestem w pokoju, gdzie ogrzewanie jest takie średnie i to jest moje ostatnie spotkanie na dzisiaj. Także polecam nasze lekcje, polecam nasze treningi konwersacji, czekam na Was, mam nadzieję, że się spotkamy na bezpłatnych konsultacjach i będziemy mogli razem pracować dalej. I żegnam się z Wami. Słuchajcie, postanowiłam sobie, teraz uwaga, że robimy sobie sunset sessions raz w miesiącu w drugi czwartek miesiąca. Postaram się je robić w ten sposób, więc mam nadzieję, że się będziemy spotykać bardziej regularnie niż do tej pory. So thank you very much for coming today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for learning with me. I hope you have a beautiful evening and an amazing weekend, of course. Thank you very much. Bye bye.